Hey guys, Gabriel 5LEI here. So I've just hit 100 attempts of RLCraft Hardcore, and I think I have enough qualification to offer a beginner's guide. So here we are. What have I learned in 100 days of RLCraft Hardcore attempts? Well, firstly, find a village. You are not going to live that long if you don't find a village. Why? Because you need a bed. Or at least find a house. Thankfully, I spawned next to a village. But you might not always get a spawn so close. Secondly, apples, insanely good. They're not technically better than wild berries, though. Wild berries and their bushes are going to be one of the things you collect the most. Mainly because wild berries restore one hunger and one hunger and half a thirst. So you're going to be looking for these. So wild berry bushes, they're all season, so you won't have to worry about like growing them at a certain time, and they only require grass, no water. Third, torches. Oh my god, torches are so important. I cannot stress to you how important torches are. Those ones that go out, don't bother with them. Just go straight for a normal torch. One of the perks to having a village near you is you can grab some stone, mainly rocks, and make yourself pickaxe first, because you can get sticks otherwise. And if you have a church near you, you can just kind of take some things out of the wall, pop a ladder back. This will get you all that you need, mostly, aside from sticks, to get yourself starter shit. Such as a weapon, that sort of thing. So, if you didn't spawn next to a village, that does suck, but oh well. You're probably just gonna have to go and find one. Don't go into acacia biomes. Those are deadly. Instead, what you're gonna want to do is go into snowy mountains. Know it sounds like a bad idea, but you can kill Yale and try and get yourself some armor out of it. Another thing, when you are choosing somewhere to cave, do not choose somewhere with a banshee spawner. If an unusual amount of banshees are spawning, leave the cave. That's how I just lost one of my runs. That's how I lost my 99th. Lockpicks, very important. Don't forget them. Alright, that's fine. I need to get into that one anyway. But for that, I need wood. One of the first things that should be upgraded is farming. That way you can get wheat. Also, compass, pretty important. Something you have to go into is your mod settings. And you're going to want to find the, like, config that allows you to see Y level with compass. That's pretty important. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but it's a quality of life that I like. I don't always have a compass with me, so I don't always benefit from it, but oh well. Don't piss off villagers. Aegis will never forget. Unlike iron golems, you can't just outrun them. Swamps are pretty good sometimes, but they can be pretty deadly at other times. Really just depends on when you get in there. And if it has one of those, I guess, not mansions, but hills. Not hills. There's like a residence that can spawn in swamp biomes. That'll be a good indicator on whether or not it's safe to live there. One of the best weapons you can have early game is either a saber or a spear. For this run, I'm going to make myself a spear. Another good idea is to make shield. You can make as such. Then you can make a stone shield. Also, always grab cauldrons. I know it sounds kind of pointless. However, if you can manage to get yourself netherrack and a flint and steel and a bucket, you can have infinite pure water using just a cauldron. It's actually really insane. Kill some animals until you get to level 2. Or you can smelt tallow like a fucking normie. Level 2, immediately go into farming if you live near a village. If you don't, wait until level 5, then grab specialization into mining. If you're not next to a village, all you're going to be doing is mining. So it's better to get that specialization early instead of later. Thankfully, I live next to a village, so I have the privilege to pop immediately into farming. You want to be careful while farming because spriggans might spawn and destroy you. Trying to find, there was a large amount of wheat somewhere nearby. I don't remember what house it was though. Eat some of these wild berries. There we are. Other crops than wheat don't matter too much. However, if you did want to go all farming, you definitely can. One of the issues with using farming for your main source of XP, though, is the fact that crops are seasonal, no matter where you grow them. The only way you can get around that is greenhouse glass, and the only way you can get greenhouse glass is from cyan coral or just cyan dye and glass into one wood. Main issue with that, cyan is hard to get. You need cacti in order to get to it. You need cacti and blue, which can be lapis lazuli, which you need a decently high mining level to get to. Unblocked at the wrong time, it's fine. You don't need to be afraid of Reapers, but they definitely can jump you at times, so make sure not to die to them, but, you know, don't be afraid when you see one. You can kill them in about 4 to 5 hits. I'm going to pop another point to farming just so I can get all of these crops. I'm not going to replant them because I don't plan on living here a while. I really only plan on living here for the early game and for a bit of mid-game. My reasoning is purely biome-based. This isn't too promising of a biome to have any good loot or any good structures, so wouldn't be advised if I live here long, because mid-game, you're going to be looting structures most of the time. It'll take a fucking while, but you're going to. That's really all you can do, or mid-game. First thing you should ever put points into is defense. That way you don't fucking die. Leather armor just ain't gonna cut it. It ain't worth it. always go for either chain or better. Some villages can spawn with a house that has chain armor in the common room and a little bit of iron armor in the bedroom. If you find that, make sure to get the chain. Stay in that village until you get armor, until you get defense 8. Then, and only then, leave the village if it isn't promising enough. Sleeping is going to be a bit difficult. Just try to make sure you sleep at a reasonable time. That way, the day-night cycle does not escape you. Yet again, apples, good, but they do 2 food and 1 water, so you're not really getting that much value out of it. Thankfully, I looted some purified water earlier. Never underestimate the value of pure water. Trust me, drinking out of the fucking river is so much worse than you. Or so much worse for you. In case you need blue dye and can't find it for any shit. See, that's another reason why you don't want to live in a village that has a big water piece. Because those motherfuckers can spawn. You don't want those motherfuckers to spawn. Those motherfuckers are what we call, I forgot their name, so I don't remember what to call them. Jengu. Yeah, those motherfuckers are Jengu. They're either going to harm the village or they're going to harm you. Get the fuck out of there. You're not ready to fight one yet. You can probably take one, but definitely not several. So, grab your food and bounce. Only steps you ought to be taking are fucking big ones. So in this situation, I'm next to a swamp with a not too promising structure, a dark woods, and other shit. I have enough points invested in defense where I can use chain armor, however there isn't any near me. So I'm gonna have to adapt. I can wear wool, however that's ill-advised because of summer being the next season. I think it always spawns you in on... I already lived in that house. It always spawns you in, I think, on early spring, so it's going to be a little cold, but don't be deceived. Trust me, it'll get warmer. I'm going to take the... I'm going to take those, I'm going to take that, and I will take the... Oh, I can wear the chain skirt that I got. Skirts are the exact same as leggings. You don't really have to be worried about choosing one. Throw away the chicken for a little more steak. This house normally has pretty much nothing in it. However, you can find a lot of food. Also might grab those crafting tables, just because crafting is pretty useful. Don't be... like, tricked into grabbing iron tools. You will most likely never use an iron axe. If you do, that's because you're pretty late into the fucking game and can afford to. I'm going to get rid of the bones because I don't need a dog. I'm not going to get rid of the feathers because a bow is one of the best weapons. My personal philosophy, the furthest you can get from an enemy, the better. You want to make sure you fucking go. If you're fighting something and it can't fight back, that's where you want to be. That's the point of success, is hitting something that can't hit you. So, we're getting into a bit of a greener biome. We're getting close to the edge of the water, so I'm going to quickly make myself some earplugs in case we find any sirens. You always want to be conscious of finding sirens in the water, because those will fucking murder you unless you have high enough defense. Or, like, good enough armor. And at our current state, we don't. Going into the water is a bad idea, however, it seems to be the only move that I can do. This because I don't want to go into the swamp, that's probably going to kill me. That is a structure. It's going to give me a little bit of XP from all of the farmland there. That's a ship. That's a sunken ship. That's another sunken ship. I'm gonna go into there. So I need a boat. Turn that wheat into bread. Grab some inventory space. Always want to be looking out for things in the water. If you see a sea serpent, fuck off immediately. You do not have the ability to fight that. Herma. That's a crab, and it's stuck on my boat, which is kind of sick. Level 5, level up reloaded, immediately going into ore. We're going to pop some mining points. That way I can grab specialization in that. Or at least enough to use, or enough to break iron. That's always good to have. That's a diamond lock. We're not going to fuck with that. Netherrack is going to be very good, as I mentioned. You get netherrack and you get the cauldrons. That's infinite purified water. We're going to really quick just gut this Herma. Cool. Make sure we're on the lookout. Nothing seems too bad. Flying ones do not have anything to give you. That is an ocean monument. We're gonna fuck right off. That ain't worth it. I'm gonna pop over here. Leather isn't too valuable of a resource, but it is still something that you're gonna want to consider grabbing. Because of the Minecraft version, horses are more likely to spawn. So that's good. Especially because they give leather, at least at a more often chance than cows do, shockingly. Okay, quick little thing. That place, don't go in it, or at least don't go in it for long. You're probably gonna get stuck there and die trying to go out. You need mining 8 in order to break emerald. That doesn't have anything in it, to my knowledge, so we're not gonna go for that. What we can do, though, is probably pop over... That's just a bunch of obsidian and shit. Pop over, see what we are to do here. So one of the best things you can get for yourself early game, we need to leave. Lava can summon things such as salamanders and afrits. Afrits and salamanders are lava or fire type creatures. They will murder you in seconds, as will most things here. Guess we're going into the swamp anyway. Although boat-breaking physics are a lot more liberal now, it's still a good idea to not break your fucking boat. Iron spear, we're going to keep that. Eat the baked potato, grab more inventory space. You want to be as conservative about your inventory space as you can. Recall potion is insane. Oh my god. For that, I'm willing to toss out the potatoes. Carrots are more worth it in the long run because golden carrots are a really good food source. Grab some apples. Iron leggings, that is technically useful, but not enough for me to justify grabbing it for something else. We can leave the boat. The boat isn't too useful. It's only for faring large bodies of water. And, well, I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, so... Alright. Let's see. we're going to want to start going into defense again. So the important things here, we have mining 4 and defense 4. That way we can wear chain. Still not too protective, but enough to where it isn't that bad. I underestimated this entire ocean. Well, we're gonna have to make another boat. Still have a bit left over. We can just toss out the baked potato at that point. It is a bad idea to go out in the water while it is night. You can also use a rendering glitch in Minecraft that allows you to see further than you actually can. As bone. So, look. You see how all that's, like, fucking greened out? If I turn, I can see the more finer details. That's just a small little rendering quirk with Java, I believe. Mainly how the fog mechanics work. I think it's something to do with culling. I have no clue, though. Do not take my word as full-on scripture. It's, yeah, all we can really do is just go into the ocean again, so... You don't want to find yourself in the ocean too often. It's kind of a bad idea to be out here. Especially with all the shit that you have to be on the lookout for. That pirate ship would be worth... I can't go that way. I saw a sea serpent in the water. That's not worth my... That's not worth my time. You can kill sea serpents, but you would need a bow and a bunch of fucking arrows. And those are the reason why we wore earplugs. They sing and attract people so then they can kill them. As you can hear. Desert. Really fuck bad place to be. Especially with those motherfuckers. However, we are cold as shit, so we have to dock. Very quickly, I want to make... I want to make wool boots. Just to kind of help with that being cold as shit. We can't go out in the water that way. We have to find a different way in. See, deserts are really fucking bad for a few reasons. One, they're a warm biome, and warm biomes are more likely to have things like acacia next to them. This run is most likely dead in the water. I'm just gonna say that now. Because acacia have this really fun animal. Acacia have the most fun animal ever, and you can kind of see it over there. It's called a cockatrice. They will hunt you down. If you stare at them, you get withering. If you don't stare at them, they run at you and kill you that way. That's a fire dragon. Alright, we're going to have to be pretty clever. I'm actually going to put on the wool boots, get the step height, and just run up this fucking mountain. Sounds ill-advised. Probably is. I need to run again, because that's lava. See, there is a townhouse over there. That's another cockatrice. I need to fucking run. If they see you, it's pretty much over, although you can outrun them, technically. However, there's another cockatrice over there. Also, the only way to tame them is by staring at them. And the other fun fact is staring at them also gives you nausea, so you can't tell if you're looking them in the eyes or not. And they hide really well in grass. I'm hoping I went around him. Yet again, can outrun them, probably won't. I used my boat there kind of tactically. I'm hoping that he gets stuck on it. I think he did. Sick. Okay. So that right there was abusing the mechanic known as entities getting into boats. There's no actual name for it. It's just entities go into boats. That's cyan coral. However, we're not going for a fish, or we're not going for a farming-based run, so we won't be doing that. Still in an acacia. Still looking pretty bad. I have to make another boat. I've made 3 boats at this point, and I have not found a safe place to live. A fully safe place to live, I should say. With a place that's optimal enough for me to live there for a decent length of time. Although that's the most beautiful biome in the game in my eyes, that's not where I want to be because it's technically an acacia and we can't live there. When you hear footsteps behind you that sound like a crake, stop running. Don't stop moving, just stop running. Crakes, otherwise known as, I can't fucking see them. They're red, they're ugly, but they don't have eyes. Let me see if I can get a good view of one. I don't think I can. Yeah. Anyway, crakes, they will go at you if you run near them. So don't. You can run around them, but if they do start heading towards you, just stop running entirely. Don't move that much. They are blind. However, their audio is insane, so they can hear pretty much anything. We're finding no suitable biomes here. I might have to turn back. That is not a crate, that is a joust. Joust are a pain in my ass. Pretty much everything in this mod is a pain in the ass. We're gonna fare the river, see where that takes us. Fortunately, the river and desert biomes are actually really good. The rivers and desert biomes are pretty good. Because you can just kind of fare them pretty easily. I don't know if I'm using that word right. But you can just go through desert biomes really easily with the waterways. Because A, it'll most likely lead you to another ocean. And B, you're probably going to be at sea level most of the time. So, you know, it's not too hot, but it is still very hot. This is a crake. Don't run near them. They'll kill you for it. We have another townhouse over there. Is that... I don't believe that is acacia. I believe that is wood. Or, well, acacia is wood. This is better wood, though. I can't tell what biome I'm in. What I can tell you, though, is this isn't acacia. The ground is too green for it to be. But it's still warm plains. We are currently being choked, pretty much, by a mesa, which is pretty bad, but not as bad as the desert. I'm kind of stuck here, but it's fine. Yet again, not optimal place to live at all. I'm kind of wishing that I took that place in the middle of the ocean I told everyone not to go to. Because A, I would be able to get to show you that is a bad place to live, and B, I would be able to live there for a temporary amount of time. I need a stone. Not before I kill that chicken, though. I feel confident with throwing that away. One of the biggest things that kills most players on their first time playing RLCraft is just hubris. Like, you'll think you can take something, and then you'll find out very quickly you cannot take that thing, and then it just fucking murders you. Ah! That is something that can spawn when you're gardening. Yeah, when you're breaking crops, there is a small chance... Actually, no. When you're breaking crops or when you're breaking leaves, there's a small chance that that motherfucker over there that we just saw, called a Spriggan, will appear. Spriggans, they're just nature racists, pretty much. They hate everything to do with you, and you specifically. Alright, let's get to it then. Seems as though we have to go into the mesa for a short amount of time before making it back into the plains. Reason you don't want to be in the plains or the mesa is a few. One of them being that like fucking sand, like deserts or desert worms can appear and just ruin your entire evening. As I said, Reaper can scare the shit out of you. Don't be alarmed. You can kill them. Sleeping under the stars for another night. For the sake of inventory, we can get rid of some of this purified water. I want to, real quick, make a pit stop out here. You don't want to be on the ocean too long, because Jengus are probably going to spawn and ruin your day. Most things in this game will spawn and ruin your day. You want to make sure that doesn't happen. Iron armor is good, but if we can find anything else, then that's also pretty good. Even leather armor is technically preferable right now. Do not be afraid to throw gear away if it has a worse reforge than something that you have. Now, early in the morning is when you have to be afraid of a lot of things in the water. Because of the morning fog, you wouldn't be able to see a sea serpent pretty well. And we have found it somewhere that is technically livable. A good coral place, so we can get a lot of cyan coral. Think about the benefits of living here. Think about the benefits of everywhere you live in RLCraft. Is it livable? As in, do you have a lot of resources at hand? We have a mine, we have a lot of trees. This place seems pretty nice. It's moderate temperature, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Yeah, so we have a moderate temperature zone. It's got plenty of trees. It's got a good ocean area for coral and such. This is livable. There is probably either just straight up fucking spiders down here, or there's a spider spawner, so we have to be careful of that. However, that is how you find a livable location. You run for hours, and then you finally get it. And as such comes the end of the video. If you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And if you all want, I can post more RLCraft videos.